Hey everyone, good evening. I decided to come on live now because my daughter's sleeping, but she's about to wake up. But that's okay. That's okay. We will make do. Anyways, I wanted to talk real quickly about the struggles that we have as moms. And I want to talk about the top 4 that often come up when I talk to people. And even for myself, I mean, I'm not exempt. I'm a mom and I struggle with these particular things too. But I have learned to navigate through them for the most part. You know, I'm not perfect. Neither of us are perfect. And there will be days where we have our act together and there will be days when we don't. So, the first one I want to talk about is time. I often hear I don't have enough time to do this. I even say to myself, where has the time gone? And sometimes it's just a matter of being so busy and being in the moment of busy. And I hope you can understand what I mean by that, because you let me know in the comments below if you are a list maker. I am a list maker. So I tend to write all the things that I need to get done. And then what happens is life. So kids, could be your job. For me, it's my business, other family engagements, meetings, errands, all that kind of stuff. And then when all that goes by, the whole day goes by, I feel a little defeated and upset because it almost feels like I didn't get anything done. It's like I'm just too busy for anything. But what I often don't realize is that I don't create the space for particular things that need to be done so that they can be done. Because a list is great. A list is fine and dandy. It's great to check off things off your list. But a list can only take you so far if you're not creating the right, you're not holding the right time for it. So thereby giving yourself grace and knowing that if you have 100 things on your list, more than likely you're not going to get 100 things done in one day. So we have to be realistic with ourselves, and holding such a high regard for ourselves and thinking that we could just get it all done is setting ourselves up for disappointment. So creating the right space for each and everything that you want to get done is going to allow you to be more productive, because you'll actually get stuff done. And I've fallen victim to this too many times, where I wanted to get so many things done. I had so many things on my list. At the end of the day, it felt like I didn't get anything done. And let me tell you, when I'm not productive or I feel like I wasn't productive, it literally makes me more anxious. It makes me upset about not getting these things done. But I had to learn that it takes more than just creating a list and just expecting me to do everything. And yes, moms are super moms. We can multitask like I'm going to do right now. I'm going to multitask by talking to you and getting something for my daughter because she just woke up. So we are super moms, but we're not, fictional characters. Fictional characters like Superwoman or Wonder Woman, Supergirl, and all these other kind of fictional characters out there. So have grace on yourself. Know that time is on your side. You just got to have the right expectations for it. And for me, I realized with what I'm doing for my kids, I'm homeschooling them. I'm, running a business. I make time for my spouse and for myself and for other family members and friends, that ultimately my to-do list is like 1 to 4 things that I can get done in a day. And I have to be realistic with myself. And doing that and realizing that has made me to be able to be more productive and get time back, to be honest. Because when we have too much on our plate and we're just trying to scramble and have these high expectations, we're actually losing time because it's taking space in our mind. Hi, Melissa. How are you? Thanks, everyone, for hopping on live. I'm going to talk about the top 4 things that we struggle with as women, as moms. But there's could be others. So if you have anything that you feel is a big struggle for you, you know, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to elaborate more with you, or maybe create another video for another time, because I don't want this video to be too long. But if there's anything that you can add or would like me to do another video on, then I would love to do that. So I'm always open for feedback. Always open for feedback. So I'm gonna grab my notes because my daughter makes me go away from my notes, and that's another thing is our mental capacity. Talk about mom brain. I have to have everything written down, and I have to have everything on my calendar and my phone to remind me. Literally for everything. All right. The next one, I have it. Okay, baby girl. Okay. So the next one is energy. Who struggles with having enough energy in your day? We often get run down by the demand on our life as a mom, and if you have a job that you go to every day, or if you're running a business at home, or you have kids that you have to, like for me, sometimes I'm staying up late with them because their sleep schedules are all off or whatever. I mean, we have such a demand on us that energy is often something we struggle with. We're often finding ourselves saying that we're so tired, that, you know, maybe you want to do a workout, but you're just like, oh, I don't really have the energy to do so. Or whatever it may be. Clean the house. I know there's days that I don't even want to look at the house. Like, I'd rather just burn the house than clean it, you know? And so often we can use that as an I don't want to say we use it as an excuse, but we often stay in that state. You know what I mean? So like, yeah, we do get tired. We are lacking in energy. We struggle with that, but we also need to be able to take care of ourselves, which is something I talked about in my podcast and earlier, that we need to be able to recharge ourselves, really. You know, yes, there's reasons why we're tired, but then we also need to do the work to be able to recharge ourselves, whether that's getting some extra sleep, having a nap with your kids. I know I do that. You know, eating good quality food that's going to fuel you, or even getting exercise. And when I do exercise, I actually feel better. Initially, it's like, I kind of don't want to. But then once I do get it in, it's like, okay, my body is thanking me for doing this. So finding ways to really recharge yourself, even like for me, just getting a little bit of time away from the kids can help recharge me to be a little more level-headed. And so that leads into my third point of what we struggle with, which is focus. So I talked about, having mom brain, and, sometimes when we're really overwhelmed or have anxiety, which I struggle with, I lose focus. I struggle with my focus. There may be things that that you need to do or need to get done, or certain things that you need to implement in order to get to your goals, but you just are lacking that focus. It's just getting really hard, especially at the end of a day, or maybe you had a hard day. Someone got on your nerves and said something that really rubbed you the wrong way, and you're just struggling with having focus. Even with, if you have little ones at home, they can take your focus away. I know it happens for me. And so learning how to be able to give yourself space to collect your thoughts. I often encourage clients or anybody really to do a mind dump, because we have so many things just racing through our minds. I know I do. I think about, what am I going to do tomorrow? What I did today that was wrong, having a little bit of mom guilt. Maybe I shouldn't have, said that. Or, I'm thinking about the whole week. I'm even thinking about Christmas. We're constantly thinking about things, and that, takes real estate, right? And then we have to make space on, what we're remembering and, what takes priority and all that kind of stuff. So that's number 3 for struggle. Number 4, the last one I have for you today. I know there's more, but these are my top 4. The last one is one that I think I've struggled with my whole life, but now being a mom, I think it's like the worst. It's patience. I struggle with patience. And I found that there are things in my life that it's just been harder to deal with ever, like so much more than I ever imagined it would be. And so what happens is when we can't get a hold of like being more patient and having grace, then it goes into being overwhelmed. And then when we go from overwhelm and it's, escalating, then it goes into stress and anxiety. And then from there, when we have stress and anxiety, that takes over our focus. And then when we can't focus on something, it kind of stalls us. It's like a hindrance, something that gets in the way. And then we're not productive and we can't do the things that we need to do in order to rise up and excel in what we want to do. And so, as most of you know who are on this page, I help women to lose weight, especially around their midsection area, because that is a problem area for a lot of women, especially after having children. Oftentimes we're struggling with ourselves and getting past ourselves in order to do the work to actually lose the weight. And for me in my own journey, that was something huge. My mindset, I used to think mindset was a bunch of baloney for the longest time, until I actually practiced mindset exercises and shifts and allowed myself to be a little more open to that in order to get past those mind blocks. So let me know what you're struggling with. Out of those 4, is it all of them? Is there one in particular that's like the top for you? Like, man, this is the biggest hindrance in my life right now that I'm struggling with. And if you're not comfortable, writing it in the comments, you can always send me a direct message. And I'd love to have a conversation because, that's what I do. I have conversations with people all the time, which I enjoy. I truly do. My goal is to be able to inspire, motivate, and help as many moms out there in the world so that they can live a life of purpose and, ultimately get to their health goals. So those are the top 4. Let me recap them and see if I can remember at the top of my head, even though I wrote them down. Number 1 is time. Number 2 is energy. Number 3 is focus. Number 4 is patience. And as I was saying before with the patience, it all comes full circle. It does. Because as these things escalate in our lives, it can get in the way of other things that is truly robbing our joy. When it all comes down to it, it's robbing the very things that we desire in life. It's preventing us from being able to do the things we love. And, not to make this video long, but I want to just kind of expound on that whole joy part. Like, when I was struggling after having the twins, I used to be a worship leader. And And I did it my whole life since I was 9 years old. And when I had the kids, I stopped that completely. And because of the way I was feeling internally, because of the way I was just taking everything in and all the things that I've been robbed from, because of myself, I was getting in the way of myself. I wasn't doing the things that I loved, which is singing and playing and worshiping God and being there to be able to lead people into worship. And I just thought, I just had to be home for my kids and that's it. Like, that's my role. But let me tell you, mamas out there, if you're listening to me right now, your role as a mama is to be the best version of yourself so that you can inspire your children to be the best versions of themselves, so that you can be an influence to other women who are struggling too, even young girls who look up to you, and even to other people in your life that you love. So I just want to leave you with those last tidbits. And I hope this inspired you. Thanks to everybody who hopped on the live today. I will be live again tomorrow. I'm going to be going live every single day until the countdown of my challenge, which is on November 14th. And if you want to know more information, drop the word info and I'll send it right over to you. But I do lives in my Facebook group. It's a place where you can get encouragement on all things health, nutrition, fitness, and mindset. So if you want to know about the free group, let me know and I will help you out. I'll drop the links below. All right, everyone, have a great night and talk soon.